Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Today, I sat down with Eric Harper. He is SVP at Loaded, a Twitch and YouTube-focused talent agency, previously founder and CEO of GG Talent Group, recently acquired by Loaded. We talked about what he does today, how he got to where he is today, and any advice he would have for anyone looking to do the same or just trying to figure out their life. It was an awesome episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Eric, thank you for sitting down with me. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Aiden.
Excellent. Well, gonna jump right into it. So you are, as I understand, you are a SVP at Loaded, previously founder and CEO of GG Talent, which was acquired by Loaded like 2 months ago, just recently?
Just about a month ago, actually.
Just about a month ago. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What does that look like?
Sure. Well, when you create a business, you never know how far you're going to go with it and when you're going to either sell or move on to other things. Business was doing really, really well. This was just a very good opportunity for us, though, to just be part of something bigger, and that's huge for us. We've been in business about just under 4 years now, and so to be acquired already was way ahead of schedule. But we're really excited, and I'm locked in with Loaded as well. We're on a very good pace here, and yeah, so it's cool. It's kind of crazy. Still trying to absorb what my new life is. Now I focus on sales. I guess I always have. I have a few less administrative things that I have to do day to day, which is nice for sure. Don't have to worry about the payroll and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely enjoyed that aspect. I'm just kind of really learning right now from them, like, what they're doing, what they're selling, their philosophy, very similar to ours, frankly. So it's a really good synergy.
And you guys it's Twitch focused, right?
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, Loaded has a lot of other products as well. It's not just talent. But in terms of our rosters, yeah, it's mainly Twitch. I'd say about maybe about a quarter of the activities on YouTube. Not much elsewhere. Yeah.
Okay. And so are you remote then? You're working remote?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. My entire team works remote. The Loaded team's kind of half and half. They have an office in Santa Monica. It's beautiful. I love it. Anytime I can get an excuse to come out there, I love to do it. And it's also my home state too, in California. So anyway,
where are you at now?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, or just west of Chicago in Naperville. It's a nice little suburb out here. It's not the same nice weather you see in Santa Monica, but it's a beautiful place, and I actually do love living here. Strangely,
it gets nicer in the summers, maybe.
It's amazing. Like right now is great. You just have
about the same here.
3 to 4 months. You just don't
want to be there. Yeah, that's about the same. Except we're looking at like 8 months of rain, hail, and snow. So
oh my gosh,
it's all right though. You get used to it. It makes the summers feel really nice.
Well, it's the people that make a town good, right?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Not the weather.
Exactly. So. Me and my little small town out here in Nova Scotia. That's cool. So for sales, are you reaching out to like new talent or to brands? How does that work?
Brands and game devs and publishers. I mean, my focus is mainly on the game dev side of things. And so we do a lot of activations for new game launches. That's like my passion. My talent love to do those activations. It's most endemic to the space. And so that's what I spend most of my time on. We have other sales staff who kind of do the brand side of things. Those are very long sales cycles. They take a long time to kind of build those partnerships. And I like to just get in and get stuff done. So
yeah. What's your favorite video game of all time?
Favorite video game of all time? That's so tough for me, man. Like I always have to answer with like 3 of them. I mean, it's definitely
that's fair.
Definitely World of Warcraft. One of the Souls games, probably Dark Souls 3, and Diablo. Just any Diablo, I just love it.
Okay, so you can do the single player games. You're a fan of those?
Yeah. I mean, like World of Warcraft is not, but
the other two, yeah.
No, I'd like to have like my own time just to grind things out and just kind of challenge myself, and then Yeah, when it comes to a multiplayer game, I'm usually like mic off. Don't want to listen to you guys. Just want to kind of
Okay, yeah,
like yeah. But I don't play Valorant or things like that where you actually need to talk to each other. I'm just
yeah,
rather be on my own, listen to my own music, and have fun.
yeah. That's fair. That is fair. Um, yep. Valorant's something. Honestly, it's a good thing you don't play it. Trust me.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like hard to get off, right? You just
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it
you're
is.
never
Just one round
satisfied with
after
the
another, you
results.
keep
Yeah.
losing. I can't get on a bronze, man. It's crazy.
Oh,
Um,
it's funny.
cool though. So then let's run back in time. You studied at California State, and you did a MPPA in public policy and administration. What is an MPPA? First of all, is that like a master's?
Yeah.
Is that a master's in public policy and administration? That's what that stands for.
Yeah. It's kind of one of a kind. I'd say the program's like 70% policy, which is more typical.
Yep.
But the MPA component is on the management side, which has definitely helped me a lot. Yeah, you wouldn't expect me to be like doing that and then coming here, but as you'll find out soon once you're out of uni, like you
Yeah.
you study something and then you fall into some work that you like to do and you keep pursuing it, and then eventually it just kind of does its thing. And then with someone like myself, I've done kind of I guess two major career shifts. The first one was from government, which I worked in for a long time, and I actually really enjoyed it. It made me probably the best analyst you could ever hope to be in that line of work that I had. I was mainly in finance, but I just like learned the analytical process, and actually did use skills from grad school as well, which is great. I'm a huge fan of grad school. I wish you could just
Yeah.
skip undergrad, because undergrad's
Yeah.
it's important. Like I'm not trying to say it's not, but it doesn't like teach you the life skills that
No,
you're
it
looking
doesn't.
for. Whereas
Yeah.
grad school, if done correctly, is self education, right? So it's like the old days sitting with Socrates and you're all like, reading together in a field and you're sharing ideas,
Yeah.
like that's like kind of how it's supposed to be. So that's what I really liked about it. But yeah, just kind of one thing led to another. I got into rating bonds, municipal bonds. So it's still in the public sector sphere. And then yeah, I've just always wanted to create a business. And so, I mean, that's a super long story. It's its own podcast. So, we could skip that one for now. And let's,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So you go from a master's in public policy administration.
Yeah.
You end up working in basically finance.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then what was the shift from finance to what was the first
Yeah.
shift?
Bonds. So yeah. So I was in government for, I don't know, about 12 years or so. And then I got recruited by Moody's Moody's Investors Service. I hate how it's just Moody's. Anyway, I hate their
Yeah,
name.
okay. Moody's
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, and then a little bit after that, I also worked at S&P. So I've worked at all the top bond rating agencies in the world. There are two top ones. Anyway, yeah, and I really enjoyed that. And again, my analytics really helped moving into that role, and I got even sharper and sharper with that. And I think that's been one of the edges that we have in my current line of work, in that a lot of people in this space studied marketing or maybe a little bit of business, yeah, game design, things like that. Analytics aren't necessarily the top of everybody's sort of skill set in this field, but they are for me, and because it's been my entire life pretty much. And so to be able to see these problems and solve them and deal with client issues and sales issues and things like that has been incredibly helpful. Yeah, so I was rating bonds for a long time. Thought that was going to be kind of my end career. I was moving up well. It was work, it was a good job.
Yeah.
But then the pandemic hit, and like my wife and I have been talking about this for a long time. Like, what if we had our own business, right? And like, what would we do? And like I knew Twitch really well because I'd streamed from like 2014 to 2018. Then I ran some tournaments, met a bunch of creators, and then kind of figured out where the gaps were in sponsors, just kind of by happenstance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why don't they have any? And it's like they didn't have an agent, they didn't have good management, or just anybody that was looking out for them. And a creator by themselves trying to pitch unless they're super large and at least have somebody on their team. It's just like, it's just a very tough process. Like you just
Yeah.
can't do it. Like an agency, if they're doing their job well, can outsell a single creator's efforts like a million times over. So there's just like no shot. In fact, a lot of these budgets don't even come to unrep talent. They come to agencies first, and then we kind
Yeah.
of figure out where's the best place to spend. So yeah, I just figured out very quickly there were some gaps, and I was just like, well, let's see what we could do. I mean, I was still working the whole time, so for me, it was like nights and weekends, stuff like that. Mainly just like advising my wife and co-founder, like, here's like, if I had time, here's what I would probably do. So like, here's some general guidance, and just like, yeah, but like, it was her full-time gig. She had been at home with the kids for a number of years. We have three of them, and so, very busy household.
Yeah.
We had a fairly small house at the time too. We were like working out of the basement in this tiny little there were no windows in the basement. It was just like, just this pandemic work environment. And yeah, just things started working really well. And now I've gone from not owning a business to owning one, and then selling one. And now I'm working for a bigger firm that, yeah, I've always looked up to. I mean, Loaded's awesome. And I've always I always thought, oh, like it'd be cool to have experience working there. But it wasn't in the cards in my mind. Right. I'm like,
Yeah.
we're doing our thing here. And, but now I get to do both. So it's really cool.
Yeah. Awesome. So I guess if someone was watching this and they wanted to, okay, we'll go two questions for this one.
Yeah.
If someone was, first of all, just maybe coming out of undergrad or grad school and
Yeah.
didn't know what they wanted to do, what would you suggest? And then second, if someone wanted to do basically what you do, some form of talent management, what would you recommend?
Sure. All right. Well, the first one's tough. The second one I can definitely get down with. So the first one I'm struggling actually with my daughter right now. She's going to be a senior next year, so she has to make decisions about things, and she has some ideas of where she wants to go to college. But I was like, well, what do you want to do? She's like, I want to study chemistry. I said, okay, cool. Like
Big field.
Yeah. I was like, well, what are you going to do? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll let this stew a little bit, because in my mind, like when I was 12 years old, I already had like an idea of kind of like where I was going to go. Now, of course, that idea never was like what happened, right? But like, I just had an idea of where I wanted to go. So if you're a young person, you're either applying to college or you're in college, and you're trying to figure out your way, I'd say just experiment with a lot of different classes to make sure that you are getting exposed to things that you might enjoy, that you've never sort of even thought of before. And just be open to that. And then when it comes to getting a job out of college, just get a job. It doesn't matter. Like, the first one's always going to be a little rough, but just get out there in the workforce and start contributing. And you never know how far you can go. I think it's a tough economy right now for sure. But if you're working hard and you have a good skill set, like there's still plenty of jobs out there. Yeah, so that's the first one. In terms of how to get into talent management, particularly in gaming, it really actually helps to have created content yourself. Like, it helps me a lot, like in the day to day. In fact, our best sellers on our team tend to have streamed themselves or done YouTube or something, so that they better understand the creator side and the brand side of things. Understanding the brand side is very easy. Brands are here to promote their brand and sell products and services.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward. On the talent side, though, it's and creating content, it's not as simple as that. Like, it's a business in its own way, but the vast majority of creators out there didn't go in to start a business. They did it because they had a love for the games that they were playing, and they wanted to share that with people, right? I mean, that's what I got into it. And the successful ones just keep going, right? And so, like, what I'd say is like a perfect setup, like if you want to be the premier talent manager of the world, right? I would say study business if you like business, because it's a lot of business. That's like most of the job, in fact. A little bit of organizational development and tools like that. Definitely some psychology, like maybe not a minor, but like kind of brush up and like really understand people, because if you're not a people person, don't do this job. Like you'll hate it, because you're going to have to interact with so many people every day. And some of them will be super annoying. So you'll really hate it quickly. But if you're a people type and you like to talk to people, you like to ask questions and assist, like that's what this is about. It's not like a Hollywood agent that's like glitz and glam and you're going to all these parties and hanging out with celebrities and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, like we do hang out occasionally with internet celebrities, but it's not, we're not hanging out with LeBron James and stuff and partying on the weekends. It's like hard work nonstop.
There's no tequila shots with The Rock?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I haven't had that yet, like maybe John Cena. He's like pretty involved in the gaming space. I don't know why, but anyway, just to clarify, I've not had shots with John Cena
yet.
And actually, most gaming talent, they don't even drink that much, if at all. Like it's funny. Yeah. Like some of them do, and they get into trouble, and you'll see them on stream, and you're like, "Bro, what's going on here? Like, what did you do?" But yeah, I mean, I just like study business or just know it well. Study psychology and people, and marketing. Sure, yeah. I mean, you got to know some like that kind of stuff. I think you can pick up along the way. But if you could if you could understand people and you have critical thinking skills, you'll do well. The question will be, is this the best thing for you, or is there something better out there in the world? Right. Yeah. So like I was a really good analyst, right, for a long time, but this is apparently where I needed to be. Right. You just wouldn't know it. So yeah, it's the best advice. There's literally no like training program. I mean, like you can't like, learn
can't study it
in school. No. I like, don't go to do not get an esports degree. Like if this is what you want to do, this is not going to get you there. Like, when I interview people and they have an esports degree, like it's not a plus or minus to me at all. It's like, okay, you chose to do that. It's fine. But like, I want to know what you know and how hard you work and things like that. And an esports degree is just not it. And esports itself, I mean, this isn't like my side of the business isn't really esports. I mean, it's like gaming, and it's like somewhat competitive sometimes, but it's like way beyond that now. Right.
Yeah.
Also, esports orgs are struggling big time right now, so not the best time. Yeah, it's not the best time to jump into that particular space. Yeah. So yeah,
the check writers are looking for their money, and it's not there.
Yeah, apparently businesses have to turn profits to make their investors happy.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Look, I've got everything I need. I guess the final question would be, if people want to hear more from you or see more from you, where to go?
I'm on LinkedIn all the time. Eric Harper. Just look me up. I love LinkedIn. It's like my new Twitter. It's like Twitter sucks, and so I'm like, let's just go to LinkedIn and read news there. And so I'm all over that.
Awesome, and I will link that down below as well. Well, right. Anything else from you?
Just my favorite advice to give in this space to anybody who's working in gaming and doing all this stuff. And I don't mean if you're making games, that's a different level. But if you're working in our side of the business and things are getting rough, I like to remind people that it's just video games. And so you should be having fun. And if you're working in this field or you're a creator and you're not having fun, you need to find a new job.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. So